In today's video, we're taking a look at how to drill or make a new hole for a doorknob easy and simple. This is so easy, anyone could do. Everything that we use on the video, we're gonna leave a link on the description. So today, you woke up with the desire to add more knobs to your life and destroying some good solid doors that now you wanna see holes in them. Don't worry, here at the StatUpBox team, we've got your back. Always remember that safety is the #1 thing. Always contacting a professional is the way to go. And what we're gonna show today is the technique. The first thing that you're gonna need is your knob or deadbolt or electronic lock. If you wanna check out our video how to install an electronic keypad lock or how to install a deadbolt, we'll leave a link in the description of the video. The next thing that you're gonna need is that barbecue paper found in the knobs box. So that means you're gonna have to pick that up. And that's because on that paper that we usually use to cook, there is a template for that specific lock or knob. And this may come separate or you might have to cut it out. And the next thing that we're gonna need is a door hole installation kit or a hole saw that we can connect to our drill. If you have a kit, you wanna verify comparing it to the template, the one that you're gonna need. A pro tip, sometimes buying the knob first, verifying with the template, and then buying the hole saw maker is the way to go if you're not going generic. Because the same way you can use a generic one, you might want to install a fancy one. Remember, you are the king, queen, both or none of your castle. And if you only bought the hole saw attachment to make the hole for the latch, you can use a spade bit that we compare to our latch or trim ring. And many drill bit sets do come with spade bits. So go to your toolbox or shed or storage area or under the sink and see if you have one. If your hole saw attachment needs assembly, we can go ahead and do that now. Some hole saws have a drill bit that go in the front to guide the attachment to be centered. In ours, it's removable. We'll add it when we start destroying things. The next thing that we're gonna need is a drill. We also need chisels, hammer, or maybe a mallet. Then the most important thing that we're gonna need is a door, preferably your door. If you wanna do the neighbor's door, more power to you. And the last thing we might need is a helper. So today we call on Watson. In our case, we have the electric keypad at the bottom that we wanna move to the top. And then at the bottom, just place a regular knob. So we're gonna go ahead and remove that first. Now that we have a clean working space, and I say that very loosely, this particular door that we're gonna be working on today has a metal housing, but on the inside is made of wood. So either type of door that you're gonna use, metal, wood, or a combination of both, the technique is the same. As you can see, this door has the latch hole already pre-drilled, but we're gonna show you how to do that anyway. If yours already has the latch hole already pre-drilled, basically the first thing that you want to do is find the middle. And to make our life a lot easier, we're going to use a square because we can measure with this and also find the center a lot easier. But let's say you don't have the latch hole pre-drilled, and in your case you're putting a new knob or a new door. And if you want to check out how to hang a door video, we'll leave a link on the description of the video. Using our square or ruler or level, we want to make 3 lines. And to reference this, we can use the strike plate located on the trim of the wall. We do 1 line at the top, 1 at the bottom, and then using the greatest technique of all time, your eyeballs, you can do a line in the middle. But the best way to go is to measure the space between both points and then finding the middle mark. And we're using this piece of wood to better and easier illustrate this point. So now that we have the middle line or the latch line, we're ready to find the middle point of the circle, which is where our knob or deadbolt is going to center at and make connection with the latch. And we do that by bending the paper on the line meant to be on the corner and place it flat and level on the door. And the easiest way to do this is using the template. If you have a pencil, you could just go right through the paper, making a tiny dot on the door, or you can measure from the corner of the door to the center of the circle and then transfer that measurement to our middle line. And one thing we need to know before we install the latch is that the latch is adjustable. It can fit 2 3/8 inches or 2 3/4 inches, which means the latch could extend from one size to the other, depending on your need. When installing a new one, this is not as important as when already having the hole and you have to find the exact fit for your door. And that's because you're choosing where to install it. But we always recommend to verify with your door's owner's manual or any codes, regulations established in your city, community, state, or country. And these sizes may differ depending where you're installing the door, either a mobile home, a regular home, a RV, a trailer, a shed. So always verifying that you have the correct part is the best thing. Now that we have our line, the most important thing that we want to do is verify that the hole where our turning pin goes aligns with the line that we made. Now that we have all these new designs, our new door that went from new to used very quickly, we're ready to make more lines to place the hole for the latch. So basically, looking at the door from the side, we're going to transfer the markings that we have on the other side of the door, and using the same technique of measuring between both bases, we'll find the middle where we're going to draw our center line. And whenever we are going to drill, we want to make sure that we handle the drill straight and level, because the last thing you want is for any of the holes to start going to places where they don't meet. And if it does, don't worry, grasshopper. At the end of the day, everything could be fixed. So we go ahead and take our spade bit, place the pointy part in the center, use maximum strength for the drill not to move, and we basically want to drill the hole all the way to our center line on the other side. And we go until this point because once we make the other hole and you need to drill a little bit more, it will be a lot easier to see how far in you have to go. But at least here we have a guide. And if you get it perfectly on the first shot, good job. We salute you. We know you're top notch. You can tell your spouse, friends, family members, we've got your back. Now that we made one hole and we want to bring down the value of this door more down, we're ready to make our next hole. So if your hole saw attachment comes with a drill bit, you want to center that on the center of the marking that we did on the side of the door. And remember, you can always adjust if you notice that you might have moved the drill a little bit because you started sweating a little bit and some sweat got on your eyes. And we're gonna keep to that story, even though we see some cans of seltzer water there on the ground. In our case, we are raising it a little bit up, about 1/8 of an inch, just to compensate. And that's the great thing about DIY. It doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes getting something fixed or done is what can make a difference from surviving one week to the other. And we also salute you, warrior of life. And if you're doing it as a hobby and you just like making holes everywhere, we also salute you. In some metal doors, you will need to help your attachment by removing a piece of the metal so it could penetrate easier and quicker. But if you want to make life a lot easier, they do sell attachments for metal doors, wood doors, and hybrid. But here at the StatUpBox team, we like to show all the scenarios. So let's say your attachment does not reach all the way through. We can go ahead and center the drill bit on the other side and go all the way until we meet our other tunnel that we created. But let's say that sweat drop fell again, but in your other eye, and for some reason the tunnels didn't connect, and now we don't know how the trains are gonna meet. Don't worry, Watson has been standing there on the sun for only one reason, and that is to give us the hammer. And trust me, they are going to meet. But we are sure this is not your case. Now take a step back and marvel your work. This is the moment in life where you tell yourself you're winning. And don't worry about the cosmetic imperfections. The knobs or lock are going to cover this. Or like we like to say on the DIY world, we hope so. Now we can go ahead and install the latch. But let's say you have a tight fit, then don't worry. Look at Watson and say hammer. Give back to Watson the MC Hammer CD and tell him the other hammer. Or you can use a mallet. Or you can use a block of wood to absorb the frustration that's accumulating inside of you because all the seltzer water finished and all the delivery apps say 2 hours. Now we go back to our illustration wood. We're going to place the plate on the door and we like to drill it down so it won't move. And we basically do, taking a pencil, we outline it. As an extra step, you can choose to score it with a blade to avoid any chipping. And taking our chisel, we start carving away piece by piece. And a pro tip, in these cases, you want to have the chisel almost laying flat to only remove little by little. Because if you need to remove more, you can. But if you remove too much, then you're gonna have to work harder to fill in. So it's always best to remove and test until you finally get the exact fit. And remember, as nice as you want to make it look, that's up to you. Here at the StatUpBox team, we like to say, we did that, and then they answer, yes, we can tell. And if you need to do this also for the wall trim, you would use the same technique as we did. You find the center point, glue the plate, outline it, and then chisel away little by little. But let's say, on the other hand, like ours, for this metal garage, we did not have to do that. We had enough clearance to leave the plate on top, and that also worked for us. It can also work for you, depending where you're installing. And now comes the best part. This is the part where you confirm that all this hard work was worth it, that the knobs, latch, align in perfect harmony. And now that they do, you can once again say that you're winning, king, queen, both or none. If you want to see a detailed video on how to install a doorknob, we'll leave a link on the description. A pro tip, we always like to screw the screws 20% in on one side, then we move to the other side 20% in, and like that, we ping pong our way to the end. Now, you can really pat yourself on the back for a job well done. And if you never installed anything and you just watched the video, then go ahead and also pat yourself on the back. Because with every video that you watch, you're getting yourself ready to tackle on any project. MacGyver will bow down to you. Don't forget, if you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up. That really helps. If you have any questions, place them in the comment section below. Either someone in the StatUpBox team or someone in the YouTube community can help you out with an answer. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us on social media. Thank you for watching, and here's a link to our latest video.